So I have been intentionally building my personal brand on LinkedIn for the last 3 years, 3.5 years, in fact. I started at the beginning of 2020. Now, if I had to start all over again, or if I would have to, if you ask me, Mildred, what would you advise me if I'm building my personal brand from scratch on LinkedIn? What should I do? Well, I would say three things that you need to do that will help you build your personal brand powerfully. And I was going to say quickly, but quickly is not the word, as you'll find out in just a moment. So those three things are: number one, you have got to commit. Now, you need to commit to three things. One, to the process, because it is going to take a process. It's not going to happen overnight, which leads me to number two, you have to commit to the long run. And number three, you have to commit to being visible. That means showing up right here on LinkedIn. So commitment is the number one thing ingredient that you're going to need to succeed in building your personal brand on LinkedIn. Number two is to create. You need to be able to create, number one, content. Without creating content on LinkedIn, you are invisible. You also got to create relationships. Relationships is where the magic is at. It's where you find your clients. It's where you find referrals. It's where you find community, which is going to come up in just a bit. And then the last thing you need to be able to create is opportunities. How do you create opportunities for yourself? By showing up. That's the hardest part, and the easiest part is by showing up. Showing up, putting out useful content, creating useful content opens the door for opportunities, whether that's to advance your career or if you're a business person, to get podcast interviews, speaking engagements, more clients, opportunities. So, and then the last segment of things that you need to do to build your personal brand successfully on LinkedIn is to connect. Now, first, I would say connect to the mission and the purpose of why you are doing this. You have to have a reason, right? Because for the days when it gets hard, when you don't want to do it, when you don't want to show up, when you don't feel like being visible, that mission, that purpose is what's going to get you out of bed and onto LinkedIn. Yes, you're going to need it. And then two, you want to connect to some kind of community on here. Remember, we talked about building relationships. Community is the extended part of that. You will absolutely find your community here on LinkedIn if you stick around long enough. And that community is going to help you to build your brand, build your business, build your career if you stay committed to the process. And then lastly, I would totally recommend that you connect with a coach. And of course, it's a great place to end this, because this is what I do. I coach women, female leaders like yourself, and how to build your brand on LinkedIn, how to build a powerful personal brand in order to increase your income, your influence, and your impact. If that is of interest to you, check out the link below this message, which is startbeinvisible.com/book a call. And that will give you all the details about how you can get in touch with me to find out more about my services. But for now, which of these three things resonates with you the most? What do you need to do more of? Do you need to commit more? Do you need to create more? Do you need to connect more? Let me know right here in the comments.